2 weeks ago, the YouTuber Cody Bonds, made a video talking about some recent Lord of the Rings Total War leak. However, I already knew about this apparent leak and had talked with the guy who shared it. I want to make it very clear. For the most part, I do not believe these leaks. I think they are false. But for the sake of entertainment and discussion, I wanted to talk about it. I have more information than Cody as well, such as an apparent Medieval 3 and even details like the campaign map. This person, let's call him the informant. He's not a leaker, more of a journalist, gets info from other anonymous sources. It is entirely possible his sources are fake, but have convinced him they are real. So even if you disagree, do not hate him for it. He is just the messenger, that's all. He has made a couple of correct predictions based off his information. He rumoured stuff for Warhammer 3 and even the latest Troy DLC, which have been correct for the most part. However, the stuff predicted for Warhammer 3, such as Cathy, even I could have guessed that was coming. And when he predicted the Troy stuff, the two characters had already been found in the game files. Thank you to the Troy YouTuber Jarl of the Appian Way for confirming that for me. It was borderline public info already. He is predicting a non-Warhammer announcement from CA in December, which turned out to be true, the Troy DLC announcement, and was only a few days out. In his defence here, most reports like this have the overall scope, but some stuff, like timing, is often wrong. This is common in this business. Okay, so let's, for the sake of entertainment, see what is being said, and after I'll talk about counterpoints that could be made to disprove it. 1. There is apparently going to be a Tolkien game. CA apparently have the license. It does not necessarily say it will be Lord of the Rings themed, just Tolkien. This could be announced December, but I, many others, and even the informant himself, doubts that it will be December. This comes from a source who leaked stuff about Warhammer to him in the past, which has also been correct. 2. Medieval 3 is apparently in the works, and will release in 2022 to 2023. On a new engine. The map will apparently work like Empire Total War, with teleportation zones. There will be 2 theatres, one in Europe, the usual Total War map, and another in Asia. So Medieval 3 and Can Total War linked together. Japan is to be added later, maybe as a DLC, and then the Americas being a DLC as well. Similar era to Medieval 2, starting around the 11th century and ending with gunpowder. This has apparently been confirmed by many sources. This also fits my own logic-based predictions, where I used patterns in the launch cycles and analysed staff credits to predict what could be coming next. However, I believe Medieval 3 will be the last game on the Warscape engine, not a new engine. As already discussed in a previous video, Medieval Total War has always been the sign-off game for an engine. Also, I do not believe CA will go to the effort to add Asia into the base game. I feel this would be better as a DLC in their eyes. Then again, we must ask, what is the Three Kingdoms team really doing now? Maybe it could be some Mortal Empire stuff. 3. He has some info on an Empire 2, but these rumours are rarer, implying that this is either later down the line or less likely. 4. Napoleon Total War Remastered. I doubt it, I hope not. I really want Napoleon 2 to be its own unique game. It is my favourite period after all. His other sources say they cannot confirm this, meaning someone has said it, but it's not reliable. 5. Lastly, the next saga is apparently based on Alexander the Great. when sagas were originally pitched to someone, the ideas shared were Vikings, Troy, and Alexander. Now of course, don't just go believing this. I don't believe it, even with him getting the Troy stuff right. Why? Simply because of the argument. Do not believe everything you hear online. And even the informant himself doubts his own info at times. There's also a lot of flaws in his information, which I struggle to believe. Specifically around the medieval 3 details. Looking at some counterpoints made by the YouTuber Republic of Play, a former developer at CA. He tells us CA has already pitched for this in the past, but the license was too expensive. I 100% believe him. However, must add a counterpoint. When Darren worked for CA, those were different times. Let's look at what has changed since. CA now has Warhammer. Games Workshop stock has exploded since Total War came onto the Warhammer scene. The player base and sales are incredible. This they did not have before. This is data. This is proof that the method works. Lionheart was on about this in a podcast not too recently, and says it is a proven model now. They have the perfect portfolio going forwards. CA has leverage, experience and reputation in this industry now. Games Workshop also purchased the rights from Warner Brothers for The Lord of the Rings. CA has a strong link with Games Workshop now. New contacts equals new doors opened. Christopher Tolkien sadly passed away. The Tolkien estate is under new management, although still in the family. There's still bound to be some changes in the overall direction. And finally, Amazon have the rights, with a new Game of Thrones series made by HBO, releasing at a time to rival Amazon's Middle Earth series. Means the two are in competition. Whatever support either can get to try and beat the other, they will want. It is only logical, given CA's recent history. Amazon would want them to make a game. CA has recent links to Amazon too, through a push for Total War Twitch integrations. Please correct me if I am wrong. Finally, CA is the largest video game company in Britain and is also backed by Sega. In my opinion, if they could pay the Warhammer license all of those years ago, how much of a step up really is a Tolkien themed Total War? Also factoring in, it could now be easier to get than it was back then. I believe Darren. I do not think we should trust this source. So we come to the same conclusion, that it's probably false, but we have differing methodologies. He also says at the end, there's no chance they will announce it before Warhammer 3. I agree, but the informant is also not sure on when this will be announced. He said overall, something non-Warhammer is going to be announced in December. Maybe Tolkien, but he doubts that. However, we must acknowledge that it was December 2012 that Sega announced a partnership with Games Workshop, so December and December, it would be fitting. That was announced at the time people thought the world was going to end, December 2012. Wow, the Mayans got it right. They predicted it. The fall of historical to Warhammer. That was what the end of the Mayan calendar was all about. That's what it meant. Well, that's everything. In conclusion, he has been right before. I still don't believe it, however. But for entertainment, I should discuss it. I played both sides, explaining why I don't believe it, but also gave further evidence to suggest why it could be a thing. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. I have been MELKOR. Leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, share with anyone you think may be interested, but for now, until the next one, Mel gone.